when you look at the psalm, it says, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. And so I look at this, and it's really a strange story. But I want to look at what are some of the characteristics. Because if we look at, and let me see if this works here. Is this working, Brian? Brian, yeah, let's just look at some characteristics of a life on the run. This is what I think about, because you think, well, this is not like my life. I'm not running for my life. But here's what I think a life on the run really is like, and how we might draw some comparisons to our lives today. Number one, a life on the run is a life out of my control. I really don't have control. And sometimes I think we fool ourselves into thinking that we are in control a little bit. But we're really not. But this really feels like it's out of control. Like you're in a situation, maybe it's a sickness in the family, maybe it's a lack of a job, maybe you don't know what to do next, but you're not in control. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Number two, it's not a life that I would normally choose. If I was in normal circumstances, I wouldn't choose this course. Have you been in a situation like that, where if it had been up to you, you wouldn't choose that? And I think we can relate to that. And David, he's making choices, but I'm sure out there he's going, man, I wish I could just be back with my family. I don't want to be out on the road. And so I think that's applicable to our lives too. Number three, it's probably dangerous. Now, it may not be fraught with danger like David's was, but when you're in unfamiliar territory, it's easy to make poor decisions. You know, even if you're in a city. You know, I've been in a city that I'm not familiar with, and I take one turn and I recognize immediately I shouldn't be in this area of this city. You know, just by the way they look at me. I go, hey, how are you fellas? You know, and they're not waving back or anything like that. And so sometimes you're in a situation where it could be dangerous. And so finally what has to happen is you got to make some quick decisions. You got to make some decisions, and sometimes these are decisions that could impact the rest of your life. And so this is what I'm talking about, a life on the run. It's in those situations of uncertainty. You don't know what's going on. You are not comfortable at all with what's going on. So I want to talk about then, how did David do it? How does David write a psalm like this under those circumstances? So first of all, David starts focusing on, go ahead, Brian. Let's hit that next one. Yeah, how does he do it? Number one, he starts by praising God. You know, I think this is about centering himself and refocusing and getting back to where he knows he needs to be. The first thing he says in this psalm, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. Once we start praising God, I think God starts with His Holy Spirit entering into our lives and saying, look, you know who I am. You know my characteristics. Relax a little. Now, it doesn't take everything away. But if I know who God is and I can work through that, it's a lot easier. Number two, what David does is he starts to recall past deliverance and protection that God already gave to him. In verse 4 it says, I sought the Lord and He answered me and delivered me from all my fears. He's been there. God's helped him already. He knows that. And then finally, through all of this, David recognizes his position relative to God. And in verse 6 it says, this poor man cried. He's talking about himself. This poor man cried. And the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. Wow. And why I think that's so important? How many of you, and I have done this too, go, man, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this situation I'm in. I've been a good guy. Why am I in this? But David looks and goes, you know what? I am bankrupt without God. No matter what my goodness is, I'm bankrupt. And he recognized, I'm this poor man without God. And he says, even though I'm poor in spirit, the Lord heard me. And so he puts things all into perspective. And then he says something amazing. Go ahead, yeah. And this is what he says, and this is the most incredible part to me. And I'm going to start in verse 8. It says, oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. So right there we see what is good. The Lord is good, right? How blessed is the man who takes refuge in Him. Oh, fear the Lord, you His saints. And this is what's crazy. It says, for to those who fear him, there is no want. The young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but those who seek the Lord shall not be in want of any good thing. In the midst of acting crazy, taking bread, he says they will lack no good thing. But he told us right before what the good thing is, and that's the Lord. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. See, that's the key. When we look at things and go, man, I don't have all the good things I need and stuff. How does he say these things? Go ahead, Brian, hit the next one. Okay, number one, he was in right relationship with God. He knew his relationship with God. And he knows that all the good things in his life, all the comforts, all the amenities, all the toys really add up to nothing compared to God. God is the good thing that satisfies completely. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. How blessed is the man who takes refuge in him. And then in verse 18 he says, the Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous. I love that. I love that because he doesn't say, with God, everything's hunky-dory and peachy keen. Many are the afflictions of the righteous. Guess what? You can count on these times when your life's out of control. But the Lord delivers him out of them all. That's pretty cool. Now, like I said, I wanted you to hear it right from David's lips. So we've got some video of David and one of his band of marauders here. So we're going to play that right now. Okay, so what we're going to do, bless you, by the way. We're going to start out, and you're just going to introduce yourself and just kind of tell who you are and what you do. Okay? So let's start with you. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Ruben Gad, the 14th. I'm Rod.
When you're not marauding, is there anything else you do?
I come from a large family.
Okay, great. Yeah, good. Yeah, well done. Okay.
Hi, David. The housey Jesse. I also come from a large family. Future king. I guess that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Killed a giant with a rock. So that was exciting. That was a big moment for me.
Right. Okay, so how is it? Okay, all right, we'll start over. Okay, fellas, are you guys ready? David and Ruben, if you want to add to this too, tell me about how you started on this life on the run.
I got a spear thrown at me twice by the same guy, by Saul. Maybe I got the wrong impression.
He was trying to kill you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He hates you.
Right. Then my friend Jonathan, he's my bro. Jonathan is Saul's son. He's like, I don't know my dad's intentions. You go hide in the field. Hide in the field, and I'm gonna talk to my dad. And then if he's like, hey, where's David at? I'll be like, so he went to Bethlehem, his hometown, to get some stuff worked out. And then if he gets mad, then I'll know that he, wants to kill me. But if he's not mad, then I'll know that you're safe. I'll go out with my servant. I'll shoot an arrow. He'll go out and go find it. And if I say, is it beyond you? Then you know me. Then you know that Saul wants to kill you. But if I say, oh, it's just to the left of you, then it's all safe.
Didn't you guys hang out right after that? Why didn't he just tell you when you guys were eating?
Well, that was more like a goodbye thing after I knew that I had to leave.
David's a dummy. Can I say that about the Lord's Anointed?
It was Jonathan's idea, it wasn't mine. I'm not a dummy.
You guys are both dummies.
I'm not.
Ruben, why don't you share with us kind of when you first met up with David and what it was like, life on the run? Could you tell that he was like being led by God all the time, pretty much good decisions and things like that?
Absolutely. He's kind of a dummy. He just done some kind of weird stuff. There was this one time when we were all hungry. There was a priest. We stopped in his deal. David went in. I was hiding. The rest of us were hiding so we wouldn't freak out the priest guy. But then David went in there and he got all their constipated food. Consecrated? It's not constipated. I thought it was they're consecrated food. Is that where you got the big sword?
Yeah. Goliath's sword.
Yeah, he got Goliath's sword.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Get this. So he gets Goliath's sword. So Goliath was from Gath, and then we went to Gath
With the sword.
with the sword.
Right. Oh, I figured I would get respect. The king isn't all like respectful about it. It's not like, hey, that guy's cool because he killed our best guy, which is what I thought.
There was nothing cool about this trip.
Right. And then, but so he got mad, and I didn't know what to do. So
Yeah. So what did you do? That's what you did.
no, you weren't there. You don't know. You were hiding again. Okay. Yes. My beard was dry, so I drooled on it, so it moistened it
Don't
up.
make excuses for yourself.
And it wasn't like, so I had to be like the calm, crazy that didn't know what he was doing. So it was like, drooling, kind of scratching on the walls. But I wasn't like, I was like calm.
It's become clear in my time with David, dumb decisions that he makes, craziness that he does, that he's walking with the Lord. I've read a couple of his songs and they're beautiful, and they're always talking about, you know what, in this instance, in this difficulty that I'm having, people hate me, I'm scared, but I know the Lord is with me. Even though my soul crouches low, my heart is steadfast. And so David does some dumb stuff, but I don't know. I'm ready to ride this thing out and see where the Lord takes him.
I do some dumb stuff, and sometimes it's not the best thing. But what I realize in that, the more I fail, the more I need God. And so that just brings me back to him, like my soul is crouching low. That's me. I'm scared to death. But my heart is steadfast because that's where the
Well done again. Is there and so? Okay. All right, you guys done? When you guys first came together, you know, initially there was